Hello everyone and welcome back to Cop Supply. In today's video we're going to be giving you an overview for Feather. F3 is the abbreviation of the name. We're going to jump straight into it. We're going to start off on the dashboard page, the home button on the bot. Just to let you guys know, if you want to go to any different type of area of the bot, when you hover over a section of the image, there's a blue highlight there and you go ahead and click into it and it takes you there. But we are at the home page. As you guys can see on the dashboard, it says dashboard, all analytics in one spot for your convenience. So you have your success rate. So at the moment my success rate is 50%. Your total carts, if you show this, that means there's no carts. Money spent, this is calculated based on the amount of items you purchase in the task section, and obviously it calculates here. Then your totals item purchased and also your elapsed time. I'm going to go ahead and move to the settings page and I move my way upwards just so it's easier to explain. So I'm going to move to the settings page here, and as you guys can see we have a few things. So we're going to break down the task settings first. As you guys can see, this is for the monitor delay, retry delay and max retries. This is all editable by you, so obviously it's based in milliseconds for monitor delay and retry delay. So if I were to change this to 300, then this would affect my task that I do go ahead and create. And obviously we have the max retries that we can change here. Then we have the profiles and tasks section. If I have any profiles or tasks that I want to import, then I go ahead and hit this button. As you guys can see, a file explorer goes ahead and just pops up. Then if I want to export anything out of F3 for my profiles or tasks, then I can hit this button and the file explorer pops up as well. Then we have the auto solve settings, which is with AYCD. So within this little box here, we have our access token and our API token, and then our site key that is already pre-filled for you. So you go ahead and put in your access token, your API key, and then you hit this button. It saves it. As you guys can see, I didn't put anything in there. That's why it's red, but it will go ahead and work. And then your captures from your tasks will go through the access token and the API token. Then below that we have window scaling, and essentially this is to make the window bigger. As you guys can see, the full screen option within F3 is not available. So if I want to make this smaller, I go ahead and drag this back, it updates, and as you guys can see it is smaller. If I want to make it bigger, I hit this and it goes ahead and makes it bigger. Then we have the miscellaneous settings. If you want to go ahead and activate this to save your proxies, then you can. If you want to deactivate it, hit it and the blue circle goes away. Then we have the Discord webhook section. So if you want to go ahead and put your Discord webhook in here, I've gone ahead and blurred mine out. You can, if you hit this button, it goes ahead and sends a test notification. So if we drag over to my success channel here, we scroll down, as you guys can see, that is the test here. It's from F3 and it goes ahead and tests that your webhook works. So that is an option as well. Now moving over to the proxies page, it's essentially where you put in your proxies that will work in association with your task. So let's go ahead and break it down. So you have the group, the host, the port, the user, the password is being used, the speed and the actions in association with the proxy you go ahead and put in within that group. So we're going to go ahead and hit this button and this box is going to pop up. As you guys can see, it said add proxies in format IP port or IP port user pass. So I'm going to go ahead and put my proxy in there. As you guys can see, it's been added. I've gone ahead and blurred it out, but it's definitely been added. And then we have the test UK resi name. This is where you can go ahead and configure your group name. That is the previous group name I had there, but let's go ahead and change it. Let's say test video. As this is for the video, let's click add proxies. Then it has been added. The host, port, user and password has been blurred. However, as you guys can see, it is part of the group we literally just made. And obviously the is used tab is whether it's being used by the task. The speed section has like a little dash there because we haven't tested the speed, and that moves me on to the actions part. We can go ahead and hit this button to go ahead and test it. We can stop the test with this button, and we can also delete the proxy with this button. So let's go ahead and test it. It goes testing 1, 2, 3, and then the speed is 91 milliseconds. And at the top we have a test all button because we only have one proxy here. If we hit this, it'll go ahead and test this, and also a notification will come out of the bottom. Then we have the stop all button that stops all tests, and then delete all button that deletes every single proxy within here. Now moving on to the profile section of F3, this is the icon over here. As you guys can see, I have a profile already made called Halifax. However, I'm going to go ahead and go through the profile creation process just to show you guys how it works. So you begin by configuring your country. I'm from the United Kingdom, so I'm going to go ahead and put that, and then you can go ahead and fill out the rest. So we have the full name, email, phone number, address 1, 2 and 3 if you wish to utilize every single one, and then you have your state if you're in a country that supports states, then your city, postal code, your card type, then your card number, obviously your month and your CVV, and then you can go ahead and configure your profile name. Once you go ahead and fill out all the fields, you have the profile details box with your profile name. I'm going to go ahead and name this test, and then you can go ahead and click save profile, and as you guys can see, it gets added to the profile section with all your other profiles. And we're going to go ahead and break down the task builder page. You might be wondering why I've gone ahead and skipped out the task page. That's because we have to actually build the task first so they can appear in that page. So let's break down this section, but quickly before we do that, we actually need a product to be used, because I'm going to go ahead and create a task based on that product and actually successfully check out that item within this overview. So I'm going to go to my browser here, and I've gone ahead and singled out the Supreme Hanes Crew Socks of a 4-pack. At this link, I'm going to go ahead and check out a black version because the red is in stock, the white isn't, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and select the black one here. As you guys can see, there's no sizing available here, so we don't have to worry about sizing there, but we are going to go ahead and select the Supreme Hane Crew Socks. Let's go ahead and break down the task builder within F3. So we know that this item is in the accessories category, so we're going to go ahead to this drop down and hit accessories for the category. Then we have the keywords. They're based on positive and negative, and you have to separate them with a comma and a space between each one. So I know that this item is called Supreme Hanes Crew Socks, so I think for my keywords I'm going to go ahead and put 2 positive keywords of crew and socks. So I would go ahead and do plus crew comma plus socks, and that would be my keywords for this task. Then for the color, I can go ahead and do any red or black. I'm going to go ahead and put black here because that is the only one I want. We have the red option as well, but I'm going to go with black, and we know that white's out of stock. Then for the any part here, you guys might be wondering what this is. This is for sizing. So obviously we have the any option, then we have the clothing option, which is small, medium, large, extra large, extra large, and obviously so on. Then we have the smallest option, the largest option, and a few other options down here that you guys can check out. Because there is no one size option within F3, I'm going to go ahead and hit any, because there is no sizing available on the site for the socks. So I'm going to hit this, and then this is for quantity. It goes from 1 to 10. I'm going to go ahead and hit 1. Then for task settings, we have a few options here. We have restock mode. So if you're running for restocks on an item, you can go ahead and enable this. If you want to disable it, you hit the circle, the blue goes away, and it's been disabled. Then obviously you have your capture bypass. If you want to enable that, you can. And then you have the use proxy option. I've gone ahead and shown you guys how to add a proxy list and add a proxy to that. So I'm going to go ahead and enable that for this overview. Then we have the safe mode, which is experimental. I'm going to keep that off for this overview. Then we have the checkout delay in milliseconds. I'm going to go ahead and put that to 450 milliseconds, which is a good delay there. Then at the bottom here, you can go ahead and configure the proxy list that you want to use, because I've enabled that option, and the only proxy list available is test video, so we're going to go ahead and hit that. Then we have the billing profile section, and this is essentially where you can configure what billing profiles you want to use with these task settings and product settings. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the Halifax button because I want to go ahead and actually check out this item. However, all your billing profiles will be available here for you guys to go ahead and click. And to save time, if you guys want to hit this option, it goes in and grays out and creates one task for every single billing profile there. I'm going to go ahead and do that just to show you a feature on the task page. So before we finish create task, you can actually reset everything in here if you wish with this button, and then you can create the tasks with this button that pops up there. And if we go to the task page, as you guys can see, our tasks have been created. So for the ID, it is 0. We have our profiles, which is Halifax and test. Category, accessories, keywords, plus crew, socks. Then we have our color, black, size, any, and proxy has been enabled for both. And then obviously our status is dash. So with every task, we have our actions here. We can go ahead and start the task, we can stop the task, and actually delete the task, which I'm going to demonstrate on the test profile. So if I hit this, it goes ahead and deletes it, and it is gone. And at the top, we have the settings bar here. So we're going to hit this, and you can go ahead and enable force restock mode for all your tasks or disable it. And you can do a similar thing with forcing capture bypass. You can enable it or disable it for all your tasks. And then we have the start all button that starts all your tasks, the stop all button that stops all your tasks, and the delete all button that deletes all your tasks. So the final thing to do is go ahead and run this task. We have one last thing to overview before we do this. And the last thing to overview is actually the F3 capture tool. So if you guys go ahead into the F3 Discord and grab the file and add it to your browser, F3 capture tool is a browser extension based capture harvester. So as you guys can see, when you open it with your site key, server port, your time, which is optional, and then your account, you hit this blue button here, and the capture window goes ahead and pops up. And this is based off your Gmail that is logged in on the browser. So obviously I'm logged into my own Gmail on this browser, so it's going to base it off that. So I'm going to go ahead and move my F3 over here and my capture harvester over here, so we can see both at the same time here. Actually, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go back to my settings page and just minimize this a little so it's more convenient. I'm going to go ahead and drag this here, go back to my task page here. So we're going to go ahead and start a task here by hitting the blue button. It's going to go through everything, wait for capture. My scores aren't the best, so I have to go ahead and solve this very quickly here. Let's go ahead and hope it is easy. Hit the verify button, checking out awaiting response. Give it a second. And as you guys can see, the checkout was successful. It is green and we are good. And if you actually go ahead and check our Discord webhook that we configured within the video, as you guys can see, I've gone ahead and checked out the item with the checkout delay. Shows our task settings, our color keyword, the size, obviously the color, the keywords we use, and the category, as well as the item there. Shows my profile, which is Halifax, and also my order number. I'm going to go ahead and stay blanked out for this video. So that concludes the overview of F3ather at Cop Supply.